I'm Roxie with Roxie's Broadway Breakdown. Welcome back to my channel. And so what is Lin-Manuel's next big project? I think we've all been waiting for this ever since Hamilton. I mean, obviously he's done songs for some Disney animated movies. He was in Mary Poppins Returns with Emily Blunt. He did some lyrics for the recent New York Broadway production, filling in where Fred Ebb left off since he passed away, and so he collaborated with John Kander for that. But we've all kind of been waiting, like, what's his next big thing? Like, what's gonna, you know, take up where Hamilton left off, so to speak? Like, what's his next big Broadway project? We've all been waiting. What could be bigger than Hamilton? If anything could be bigger than Hamilton. And so he has just released a concept album called Warriors on Spotify. You can go listen to it. He collaborated with Elsa Davis on this concept album. Now, what's a concept album? A concept album is when you have a collection of songs that has like a recurring theme or story, something that brings them all together. And Warriors is based on a 1979 cult classic movie about gangs in New York. And that apparently this is one of Lin-Manuel's favorite all-time movies. I have never seen it, but he loved this movie and he decided to base a concept album on it. There have been other concept albums like Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, The Who's Tommy, most recently Illinois. The Broadway show Illinois was based off Stephen Sufjan's concept album. And, you know, they can be very successful. Obviously, those shows all made it to Broadway. So right now, Lin-Manuel says he has no plans to turn this into a show. He has no director, no producer. He has no plans to turn this into a stage production. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he's just saying that. Maybe he really doesn't. I don't know. But he says he definitely did turn the movie around a lot. He flipped the script. I mean, but he always does this. I mean, he definitely put his own spin on things. He said the album focuses more on like sexism and homophobia. The gangs are very stylized. Not seeing the movie, I don't know how the gangs are in the movie, but in his version, the gangs are very stylized. There's a roller skating gang and like a boy band / K-pop gang. There's a lesbian gang. I mean, since we can't see it, it's only like this concept album, we can listen to it. I don't know how to visualize some of those things, but in his head, that's how he's visualizing it. He describes it as sort of an adventure story about gangs. The movie apparently was very like adventure-like and a lot of action and violence, but he says it all resolves hopefully very peacefully. There's a very peaceful resolution. Apparently one of the leaders of the gangs gets shot, and that sort of kicks off this domino effect, and then all the gangs are sort of fighting of how this is all going to get resolved, like who's going to end up, I guess, in a hierarchy of the gangs. Like I say, I don't know the movie. I don't know the full storyline and how the movie resolves itself, but this is the idea for the concept album. So he hired sort of his dream cast to do the album. It includes people like from all genres, like Busta Rhymes and Lauryn Hill and Ghostface Killah and Mark Anthony, Billy Porter, Philippa Sue, just to name a few. And there are many different genres. It's like rap and hip hop and rock and salsa and Broadway. And he said there's no way he could ever get a cast like this to do 8 shows a week. And there's no way they could all arrange their schedule to be at the theater, you know, for 8 shows a week. 8 shows a week. So this is sort of like his dream cast and to do this album. Which is another reason he said, you know, I've kind of already heard it the way I want to hear it, and I don't know that I could get another cast for it. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he could find talented people to do the show if he really, really wanted to do it. since the show apparently does have a lot of action and violence, he doesn't know how to like translate that on stage. He knows he doesn't want it to be like a Jerome Robbins kind of acting it out with big dance montages like sharks and jets. He said he would really rather do it with singing, I guess, and orchestration kind of things, which obviously that's his strong point. And obviously Elsa Davis, he said, had a lot to do with orchestrations with this album. So I listened to it. I listened to it, and I have to say it didn't grab me. It didn't grab me. Maybe there was too many genres. Maybe I don't have enough imagination to like really get into like the world. Not having seen the movie, I didn't have a reference point. I couldn't get where the individual songs were taking me in this gang world. It didn't have, for me, a cohesive flow of the story. Now, he did say each of the songs are like a vignette, a different vignette. And if he were to do the show, which is why I think he already is thinking ahead to do a stage production, but whatever. He said if he were to do a stage production, he would not add more dialogue. Like he would, if he did, it would be very little. He says the concept album is meant to stand on its own. So that the concept album is already kind of the show as is, and each song is a different vignette of the gangs and their reactions. So I couldn't follow a cohesive story. I mean, there was one point where like I hear the shot, I hear the cops and the sirens, and then they're talking about what happened and what went down, and then the gangs sort of start, you know, having different factions and different feelings and reactions. But I just still, like I say, I couldn't get roped up into this story about the gangs. It wasn't like when I first listened to Hamilton, and Hamilton wasn't a concept album, granted, but it's not like when I first listened to Hamilton and I was just, like, the music grabbed me. I got swept away in like different feelings and emotions, and this is way before I saw the show, but I kept wanting to listen to that over and over and over, and I just love the music, and I genuinely had like a gut feeling to that album, and I wanted to hear the music over and over. I'm not getting that with this album. But same for the other concept albums with Jesus Christ Superstar and Evita and the Who's Tommy, and even Illinois. I love that music. I still haven't seen Illinois, but all the other ones, I was immediately attracted to those songs and those concept albums. I mean, obviously I could kind of, Jesus Christ Superstar, you know the story of that, but like Evita and the Who's Tommy, I was immediately roped up into that music. I got it. I understood the stories. I could kind of picture a show in my head, and then I went to see the shows, and I love them. This one, I'm just, I listened through it, and I listened again to some of the songs, and I'm like, I'm not getting this album, but maybe it's just me. So go listen to it. I mean, go listen to it on Spotify. It is available. See what you think. Leave me some comments below, you know, your thoughts, your feelings on it. There you have it. That's his next project. That's what he's been working on, and it's out now for you to listen and enjoy. All right, there you go. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next.